name is David Meyers, and I have the privilege to serve as the President-elect of the Foundation for Excellence in Education in Clark County. And like Julie, I'm pleased to welcome you here to our annual banquet to honor our awardees this year. I'm going to briefly review all of the awards that will be presented tonight so that you'll have a full picture of the work of the Foundation as well as the breadth of the nominations from all of our nominees. The Foundation recognizes outstanding work from the Clark County School Districts in two primary ways: teaching awards and teaching chairs. I'll start with the teaching awards. For many years, the Foundation has presented awards to outstanding classroom teachers with at least 5 years of experience in any grade or subject. These awards have been made in honor of the following people or groups who have made significant contributions to the Foundation. They are the Walter Allen Senior Award, the Friends of Eve Carson Award, the Joan Humphreys Award, the Newland Family Foundation Award, and the Ken Sherman Double Century Award. In addition, the Foundation makes several specialized awards. These awards include the Seasoned Teacher Award for teachers with 20 or more years of experience, the Howard B. Stroud Award for any Clark County School District employee who puts the good of the district ahead of him or herself, the Catherine H. Hughes Leadership Award to a teacher or administrator who exhibits outstanding leadership, and the Frida M. Thomas Award, Teacher of Promise Award, to an outstanding teacher with less than 5 years of experience, the May M. Watley Award, Teacher of the Year Award as determined by the Clark County School District, and the Janice J. Stevens Paraprofessional of the Year Award, also determined by the district. The Foundation for Excellence also presents content-specific chairs to teachers and other employees with at least 5 years of experience. These chairs are awarded for a 2-year period and historically represented the largest monetary awards presented by the Foundation. In even-numbered years, like this one, the teaching chairs awarded by the Foundation are the Jenny Penny Oliver Chair for Counselors and Support Personnel, the Brusanna S. Booth Chair for Teachers of English and Language Arts, the Charlotte Brown Chair for Teachers of Special Education, the Lamar Dodd Chair for Teachers of Fine Arts, and the Margaret and Raymond Punsel Chair for Elementary School Teachers. Beginning in 2015, the Foundation will be doubling the monetary award and moving to a biannual schedule for several of the annual awards. We've placed in your program an insert, which is a complete listing of the even and odd year awards, as well as the awards that will continue to be given on an annual basis. It's also my pleasure to announce that this year, thanks to the generous donations of the C.B. Lord family, the Foundation awarded the first C.B. Lord's Founders Classroom Grant. Dr. Lord served on the Clark County Board of Education from 1981 to 1986 and was president for the last 3 years of his term. Dr. Lord believed that Clark County schools had the best teachers in the country and was instrumental in bringing the Foundation for Excellence into being so that all members of the Athens community could have a direct impact on the present and future of public education in Clark County. We regret that Dr. and Mrs. Lord couldn't be with us tonight. A complete listing of the classroom grants awarded in 2014 can also be found on your program insert. Now, I would like to introduce our 2013 biannual award winners. These individuals were introduced at last year's banquet, and by nature of the award, will be receiving the second part of their financial award this evening. As I call your name, please come forward to Dr. Whitehead, who will present your check. The Cardi Kilpatrick Chair for Middle School Teachers, Holly Zeman from Hillsman Middle School. The Ann M. Schindel Chair for Teachers of Mathematics, Greg Huberty from Cedar Shoals. And the Thomas Whitehead Chair for Teachers of Science, Maria Cook from Timothy Elementary School. So at this time, I'm going to invite Chris Taylor and ELGIN CHAPMAN to come to the podium to begin our 2014 award ceremony. Thank you all for being here.
Good evening. I'm Chris Taylor, a trustee for the Foundation for Excellence.
Hi, I'm ELGIN CHAPMAN. I'm 10 years old and I'm a 5th grader at WINTERVILLE.
ELGIN and I have the pleasure of introducing the 5 winners of the Excellence in Teaching Awards. Tonight's award winners may now join the distinguished group of Foundation Award winners who for the past 31 years have served as role models of the highest standard. There are thousands of reasons why we appreciate and respect our teachers. Oftentimes, these master teachers are like celebrities to their students who are completely amazed when they spot teachers in the grocery store, the library, or even eating dinner in a restaurant. ELGIN would like to mention some of the other characteristics of a master teacher.
You've trained yourself to go to the bathroom at 2 distinct times of the day. Lunch and prepping period. You raise your hand when the server at the restaurant asks if anyone would like water. You say, "I like the way you did that," to the mechanic who repairs your car. You can't walk past a crowd of kids without straightening up the line. You've explained to a child that being a rock in the school play is an important role. You believe unbelievably annoying should have its own box and a report card. To quote Dr. Seuss, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. To all of our award winners this evening, thanks for sending yourself to the Clark County School District. You make a world of difference, and we will be grateful to you always.
I never thought that I would be standing in front of a room full of teachers and get to be the one to ask the teacher to come to the front of the class. And now to introduce our 2014 Excellence in Teaching Award winners, please come to the stage when your name is called. The Joan D. Humphreys Excellence in Teaching Award is presented to Abby Brink, a teacher at Barrow Elementary.
Oh goodness. Probably like most of the teachers in here, I'm much more comfortable talking in front of students than I am in front of adults. To put myself at ease, I'm going to pretend like y'all are second graders, so feel free to squirm around a little bit in your seats. I truly am honored to be here tonight accepting this award from the Foundation for Excellence. To have my name associated with Joan Humphreys is just a distinction that means so much to me. I'd like to start by saying how fortunate we are here in Clark County to have an organization that encourages teachers and supports us like the Foundation does. Teaching isn't a career that you get into wanting fame or fortune, but you just kind of hope that maybe you'll touch that one child. And the Foundation for Excellence, really, the recognition really validates the time and the effort that teachers put in. So thank you very much. There's a lot of people who have influenced me and supported me, so I hope I can recognize them all tonight. To start, I want to thank Liv Rogers, who's an outstanding teacher herself, for nominating me. Dawn Myers, who's a good friend, a former parent, and an important part of Clark County Schools herself. Thank you for writing a recommendation on my behalf. Thank you to my principal, Dr. Sabatini, for all her support. I'm so proud to work at Barrow School and to work with you, so thank you. I want to thank all the amazing second grade teachers that I work with. Carrie Yawn and Caitlin Ramsire, Kate Wright, Ashley Mayer, Kathleen Mills, Stephanie Arford. They motivate me every day, they inspire me, they make me a better teacher, and they make coming to school really fun every single day. And truly, our whole staff at Barrow has made our school such a place that all adults and all students can learn and work and think together. So it's a special place to be. I want to thank the people who are here with me tonight, my mom and my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, who've all supported me. They believe in me. They listen to all my crazy stories about school. My grandmother's here from Michigan. She's a retired elementary school librarian, and encouraged my love for reading. Both my grandparents have always made us believe that anything's possible if we put our minds to it. And most importantly, I want to thank my husband and our daughters. We have an 8th grader at Clark Middle School, girls, and a 5th grader at Barrow. And they are all so supportive, and I'm so thankful to the rigorous education that they're getting here in Clark County, and for all the teachers that they have. Ryan and Jensen and Linden, thank you so much for making me a better teacher. You'll never complain when I spend money on things for my classroom or for my students, or when I make you listen to all the songs I write for 2nd grade curriculum, or when we make a short trip by the school on the weekend. You're my pride and joy, and I'm happy to share this award with you. While preparing for tonight, I spent a lot of time trying to find the right words to express how meaningful this award really is to me and how much I love teaching. Teaching isn't just my career, it's a big part of my identity. Even on days when I'm exhausted or feeling overwhelmed, I can't imagine doing anything else other than being in a classroom working with students. I'm truly thankful to Dr. Lemieux, Dr. Sabatini, and Clark County for allowing me to do it every day. Thank you.
The Newland Family Foundation Excellence in Teaching Awards presented to Rachel Harrison, who teaches at Whitehead Road Elementary.
I'd like to say what an honor it is to be here. Just to be nominated was a huge honor for me, and I was completely shocked and unprepared to actually be a winner and recipient of this award. And so thank you so much to the foundation for everything that you do for Clark County schools. I moved into Clark County about 7 years ago, and it was a great move for me. So glad to be part of this system. Thank you to my principal, Mr. McDaniel, for nominating me and believing in me and just always being a great support. Ms. Hooker, my AP, is a great person. If I'm having trouble, I don't know what to do next, I can go talk to her. My former AP, Mary Garrison, so graciously wrote a letter of recommendation. I wish that you could read it because I sound really amazing when she writes it. If you know Mary, you know she's amazing with words. So I was like, I really sound good on paper when she does that. My student teacher isn't here, but I had a student teacher who wrote some really wonderful things in letter of recommendation as well. But it's just such an honor to be part of this system. Such a lovely family. I met the Newlands tonight at my table. So honored to be receiving their award. So thank you so much.
The Ken Sherman Double Century Excellence in Teaching Award is presented to Shannon Thompson, who is the Library Media Specialist at H.B. STROUD Elementary.
Apologies, I'm going to have to read from this. I'm a little nervous. I'm honored to be receiving the Ken Sherman Double Century Excellence in Teaching Award tonight. Even though I don't know Dr. Sherman that well, I do have several connections to him. His wife, Sherry Gibney Sherman, was my 4th grade teacher at Fowler Drive Elementary School. I remember her telling us about getting a mouse for her computer. I'd never heard of that. It's just one of those things that stuck with me throughout the years. So I think we can all take heart that some things really do stick with kids for years and years to come. Sherry also won the Excellence in Teaching Award in 1987, which was the year before I think I was in her 4th grade class. During college, I was the assistant director at Memorial Park Day Camp, and I had the pleasure of knowing Dr. Sherman's daughter, Molly, who was a camper there for several years. So I think these connections really explain how I won this award. It's all who you know. In all seriousness, I really am humbled to be getting an award named after Dr. Sherman. While he's the one person in his family I think I know the least, I've heard really good things about him. Several friends of mine have worked under Dr. Sherman at Clark Middle School, and they've all told me that he was a strong advocate for teachers. I've also heard that students used to love when he would pop in and quiz them and reward them with a Snickers. I don't know how that gels with our wellness policy, but as a fan of Snickers, I think it's awesome. My mom was a teacher, and that's what led me to the field of education. It was easy to see how fulfilling, how meaningful, how truly priceless summer break was. And so I became a teacher. But I never knew how hard you had to work to earn those 2 months off. This is my 11th year as an educator, and all but 2 of those have been in the Clark County School District. I love working here. I love our students. I admire our teachers, who are the hardest working teachers that I know, and I love our community. I'd like to thank my wife, Laura, who has spent countless hours helping me with pretty much everything. I really couldn't have done it without her help and her almost limitless patience. I'd also like to thank my principal, Dr. Gilbert, for nominating me. She's been a pleasure to work with for the past 4 years, and she makes it easy to say that I'm proud to be Stroud. I'd also like to thank my mom for inspiring me to become an educator, and I'd like to thank the foundation for taking the time to honor the fabulous teachers in this community and for putting on this event tonight. Thanks.
The Walter Allen Senior Excellence in Teaching Award is presented to Ginger Lehman, teacher at Clark Central High.
Mentioned earlier, this is not my typical audience, so I'd feel more comfortable if you all take out your cell phones and crack some jokes, maybe make some offensive noises. But seriously, I am extremely honored to be here tonight with all of you. As other people have also mentioned, I have never experienced working with people that are more passionate or dedicated to the teachers that I work with here in Clark County. And I have 4 children who are also students at various schools around the county. And I have seen that kind of dedication and hard work at every level, whether it was as a parent or as a colleague or working with other individuals and administrators in the district. So it's really a privilege to work here. I'd like to thank the foundation for the work that you do to recognize and honor and support excellence in teaching, which is not hard to find in this district, but we do so much appreciate the work that you do. I'd like to thank my colleagues at Clark Central High School, particularly my nominator, Ian Altman, who's here tonight. And those teachers that I work with inspire me and challenge me every single day to be the absolute best teacher that I can be. I'd like to thank Dr. Hooker and the administration at Clark Central for the encouragement and the support that they have given me, and also the leadership opportunities that they have provided to me and encouraged me to embrace. I think more than anything, though, I really would like to thank my students, because I truly believe that when a child allows you access into his life and perhaps even some influence in that world, that is really an honor and a privilege. And I'm so grateful for all of the students that I've had here in Clark County that have allowed me to experience their creativity, their uniqueness, their personality, all of the interesting things that make them who they are, because it is what gets me up and going to work and excited every day in spite of all the challenges that we face. And I would encourage the administrators and teachers and leaders in Clark County, as you move forward with decisions that will impact the future of our children, that we never lose sight of that privilege that it is that students give us the opportunity to have influence in their lives. Thank you.
It is my honor to get to give the award for my neighborhood school. The Friends of Eve Carson Excellence in Teaching Award is presented to Julie Hinkle from local Banquet Elementary.
Very honored and humbled to accept this award, especially since it's given in Eve Carson's name. I know that she continues to be much loved and respected in our community, and that her loss is still very deeply felt. I'm proudly associated with her legacy of scholarship and community service, and like many, I'm inspired by her example. I'm grateful to Eve's family and friends for choosing to honor her memory through awards for educators and students here in Clark County, and to the foundation for its work toward improving our schools. I'd like to thank the 3 young women in my life, my daughter Maddie Rhodes and my stepdaughters Audrey and Geneva. My teaching has often been informed by what I've learned from them about what students need, and I know at times I've made better teaching decisions because I've thought about the quality of the education I want for them. I would also like to thank my husband Tim, who's a fine example of how to do good deeds both at work and in the broader community. My appreciation extends to many of our district's teachers. We're fortunate to have an abundance of teachers that mentor not only our students, but also one another toward the goal of serving our children and our community better. I'm honored by the company I keep tonight and grateful for the work of the other honorees here. Having co-taught with Shannon and had children taught by Mr. Altman and Ms. Laban, I'm well aware of the talent and dedication demonstrated by the other folks who are here tonight. Also want to thank my team member, Meryl Murphy, and my principal, Dr. Dunn, for nominating me for this award and for, in general, being cheerleaders for me. And finally, I want to thank my students for helping me to be a better teacher. Our district has some of the wisest, hardest working young people I've ever known. Like Eve, many of our current students are fantastic models for how to live life. I appreciate my students for the example they set for one another and for us grown-ups. Many of them face much harsher realities than I have and do so with grace and good nature. It's a pleasure to go to work with them each day. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Michelle Pearson, and I'm a trustee for the Foundation of Excellence.
Good evening. Good evening. I am EDGAR ESCUTIA. I attend COILE.
Edgar and I have the distinct pleasure of introducing 5 Teacher Chair Awards. This year, we're proud to have a group of award winners in this category that reflect the spectrum of the teachers from the elementary to the high schools. Each one has an engaging style and command content that nurtures success among our students. Edgar would like to share some of his thoughts about being a student in one of his classrooms.
I am 13 years old. 1 year ago, I spoke no English. My mom and my dad do not speak English even today. On July the 10th, 2013, my family moved from Mexico to Athens in search for a better life. It was hard to leave my friends. I was very sad to leave my family and my dog. 1 month after I came to this country, I worked with a house on unfamiliar school. I didn't know how to speak English. I was scared and nervous, and I couldn't sleep the night before because I didn't know what was going to happen. The teachers at COILE Middle School they helped me and they taught me well. I remember a group exercise where we were building a marshmallow tower. I like it because it was a group of 4 people. We were only allowed a few minutes to talk about how we will construct our marshmallow tower. But then we were not allowed to talk, which I really appreciated at that time. So, we weren't allowed to talk, but we still had to continue building our marshmallow tower. Through communication other than speech. It allowed me to learn so much. I was so helpful to my group, even that I didn't know speak English. It was a great lesson, and it taught me that teamwork is important. My teachers at COILE Middle School did not give up on me. Because of the teachers that I met just 1 year ago, I'm here tonight, and I can communicate and tell my experience. I know a lot of people don't appreciate the teachers, but I'm so grateful because they helped me and my friends find a better life. One day I want to help homeless people. I want to make sure they are safe and protected. I also want to make sure the planet is protected. I need the teachers to help me be the man I want to be, because I feel like the world needs me. Thank you.
The Persona S. Booth Chair for Teacher, English, and Language Arts is presented to Ian Altman, Teacher, Clark Central High School.
I don't want to say anything after I owe an enormous debt of gratitude to very many people. First, I think to my colleagues at Clark Central, especially in our English department, Ms. Lehman, who also is here as an award winner. She and I together are almost exclusively responsible for 1,500 students learning American literature, which is an incredible responsibility when you think about it. Also, I should thank my friend David Ragsdale, who couldn't be here, but he is the one who nominated me for this. And of course, our administrators, Dr. Robbie Hooker, Ms. Marie Duran, Mr. Reginald Thomas, and Dr. Sheila Dunham. It's impossible to overstate how important it is for teachers to have administrators who work to understand and listen and honor the expertise that we bring. We've had that at Clark Central for a number of years now, and I can't thank them enough. That extends to the district leadership and to our board members who recently have stood up publicly to acknowledge our work. That doesn't happen very often. I have to mention my wife, Cheryl, although she's not able to be here either. I truly, I don't know how she deals with me when I'm stressed out about work, which is always. I'm already ornery by nature. Spouses of teachers are special people. Mike Lehman knows. They should build insane asylums as high as the Tower of Babel for us, but somehow our spouses deal with it. Finally, of course, I have to thank the foundation. It's such an incredible organization. Most of the real work that teachers do is invisible to most others, but you in the foundation, you know it's there, and you work to shine a light on it so that others will understand. So that they can understand, among other things, just how hard it is to do what we do. And it's astonishing sometimes how uninformed many are about that. In the news media, our elected officials, a lot of them, they don't know what we do that's so vital to the education of our youth. And it seems almost deliberate and bipartisan. I wish they would just stop making decisions about education altogether and let us figure it out. We're the ones trained for it. So what we need more than anything, and what we get from you in this room, is time and respect and latitude. As much as possible, we get that in
Clark County, much more so, I believe, than in many other places. So because I'm allowed to be who I am as a human being with my classes, I get kids coming after school unafraid to ask for help, sometimes just with basic reading comprehension. Those kids make the difficulty worth it. Others, who have straight A's and perfect records, but when I ask about college and say, hey, you should go to UGA, you're eligible for the Hope Scholarship, they start to cry and tell me they're not allowed to apply there. Those kids break my heart, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And then there are those who just kind of seem lost and need simply to be told, you're okay, you're a good person, you're worth my time. And those are the students who, in the long run, heal my heart. All of them together, collectively, will continue to make the difficulties slide away. And those are the ones who honor me to be here with you. So thank you all very much.
The Chairman from Teacher of Special Education is presented to Carrie Whitworth, Teacher at Elementary.
Thank you, everyone. I really admire anyone who got up here and spoke without a paper in their hand just now. I am very honored and very humbled to receive this award. I feel that any accomplishments that I have made are due to the wonderful teams of teachers and administrators and parents and children that I've been fortunate to work with over the past 5 years. I feel very lucky to work at a school where new ideas are encouraged and valued, and where we are always working together to improve and enrich the lives of our students. I want to thank my administrators, past and present, from Barrow Elementary School, Tad McMillan, Ellen Sabatini, Eutivia Tolbert, and Jennifer Leahy, who have all shared their knowledge and visions, and who have all encouraged me to grow as a teacher. I also want to thank some of the wonderful teachers who have mentored and collaborated with me, and this is by no means a comprehensive list because I have worked with almost every teacher in the school building. But these would include Lee Rogers, who I think was already mentioned tonight, Elizabeth Kelly, who's one of the other special education teachers, Allison Griffith, and of course Sarah Rittenbon, and there are many, many others. I also want to thank my husband, John, who puts up with all the late evenings, as all of your other spouses do, and listens to all the stories about the successes and trials of teaching elementary school. And then finally, I just want to thank the students, and I'm not going to name them all, don't worry, who work and inspire me each day, and their parents, who I'm also not all going to name, but who the parents have been so trusting and honest and supportive as I work with their children, that it's really a gift to get up and go to work every day to do the work that we do. So thank you.
The Lamar Dodd Chair, Teacher of Fine Arts, is presented to Dan Smith, Teacher of Gaines Elementary.
Good evening. Well, in my teaching career, this is probably the closest thing I'll ever get to an Oscar, so I'll start this properly. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'm only kidding, but what I will do is give the same speech I gave when I accepted the participation trophy I received when I played Little League Baseball. Seriously, this award belongs to the many who have helped me through my journey as an artist and a teacher. It belongs to my teachers and professors who taught me to persevere and learn from my mistakes. It belongs to my students who I've watched grow and transformed for the little masterful scribblers of kindergarten to the masterpieces of the high schoolers and beyond. It belongs to the colleagues who I work with, who help me and let them help me also. And yes, I can look at your computer for you tomorrow. It belongs to my administrators who supported me as an art teacher and a person, allowing me the freedom to teach art the best ways I can teach art. It belongs to my family, to my parents, who fostered my creativity as a child, who put up with the skateboards, guitars, mohawks, and green hair as a teenager and an adult, and who guided me to be the person I am today. It belongs to my wife, Katie, and my daughters, Caitlin and Chloe, who had the fate of being close to an artist with all the ups and downs, art shows, sales, receptions, and piles of hoarded wood and cans of old paint. Thank you all for supporting me as an artist, a teacher, and as Dan. I would also like to thank Janet Swanson, who I had the honor of being able to student teach under many years ago at David C. Barrow Elementary. She passed away recently, but she left a legacy of students and teachers who she touched through her art instruction. I still use lessons and things I learned from Miss Swanson today in my classroom. I'm honored and humbled to receive the Lamar Dodd Chair Award, and I thank you all for the support you've given me. Thank you.
The Margaret and Raymond Puzzle, Sherford Elementary School teacher is presented to Cindy Alexander, teacher White Hebron.
First, I just want to say how honored I am to even be here. I would first like to thank the Foundation for Excellence for honoring teachers and acknowledging the work all teachers put in their classes every day. I know that this banquet is not for the grants, but I would also like to thank you for providing those. Just this past week, I was able to buy 2 telescopes, constellation books, and an astronaut ice cream for our space night that our 4th graders are extremely excited about. If anyone is free, November 7th, come on out to Whitehead Road. We have volunteer spots available. I would like to also thank Mr. Ponsel for valuing teachers and making this award possible. I looked at the list of past award winners, and I am extremely honored to be among them. Thank you also to my principal, Mr. McDaniel, for nominating me. He is the kind of principal that is truly looking out for the best interests of students while always having his staff's back. He inspires us and encourages us. I love that he loves teaching and provides us with ideas, like screencasting math homework, which, according to my parents, makes me a pretty awesome teacher. I don't tell them that it was my principal's idea. However, my favorite thing about Mr. McDaniel is that he encourages individuality in teachers. He doesn't expect a cookie-cutter teacher, which is good because I don't fit that mold. And also thank you for not freaking out when I say I want to take 100 kids to the beach and have 200 over after nightfall for the moon, to see the moon. Of course, I couldn't do any of this without my amazing family. My husband, Hank, and my children, Kaylee, 7th grader at BHL, and Alyssa, 4th grader at Whitehead. They sacrifice their time and don't complain too much when I work late or create lessons and grade papers while watching TV and ask a million times, what just happened, so I can keep up. But more than that, they volunteer to help me get ready for field trips and other after-school activities. My husband takes off work to go to Rock Eagle and Jekyll with me. And my girls are often at the school the night before the trips, very late, helping me pack boxes to be able so that we can go. I am very thankful that they understand how much teaching Clark County students means to me. I am very lucky to have and to currently have amazing parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hooker. Hi. And I saw one of my amazing students back there, Sam, but I don't see him anymore. They must have disappeared. Our students want to learn, and their parents want to help them learn. I had a teacher my senior year of high school that truly challenged me. He not only taught me what I needed to know to pass the class that year, but he taught me that I didn't have to wait for someone to teach it to me. I can figure it out myself. As a student, my proudest moment was figuring out physics formulas without being given the actual formula. I had always been told I was smart, but it was the first time I truly felt intelligent. Therefore, my number one goal is to teach my 27 precious, unique, intelligent students this year, as it is every year. It is not just to teach them the 4th grade content or have them pass the milestones test. Don't worry, I know that's important. But what I really want them to learn is that they don't have to wait for someone to teach them. They can be lifelong learners and use what they already know and available resources to figure problems out on their own, because they are intelligent too. Thank you.
The Jenny Penny Oliver Chair for Counselors and Student Support Personnel is presented to Scott Emmer, Counselor of J.J. Harris Elementary.
Good evening. First, I'd like to say that I'm very grateful that so many people before me also had cheat sheets, but we'll call them notes. First, I would like to thank the Foundation for Excellence for their commitment to supporting the mission of the Clark County School District and the ongoing efforts of those called to do this work. Thank you to the Clark County School District for creating an environment of learning and leadership where extraordinary principals like STROUD and Thomas set the highest of expectations that empower staff to lead and encourage active roles in the communities of those we serve. Jenny Penny Oliver was a very special person who lived an incredible life that embodied what it means to be an advocate on all matters of social justice and equality. Receiving recognition for one's work and efforts is always rewarding. Doing so under the memory of an amazing person that touched my life directly adds an additional layer of meaning, love, and pride. Many of us in this room knew Jenny Penny personally and can attest to how our lives, our careers, and our community are better because of the work she did and the way she empowered others. Having the privilege of standing here today, being recognized for performing the work I'm employed to do, and having the honor to do so in the name of Jenny Penny is humbling. It is easy to focus on the efforts of the work that we are called to do. Making this work possible are a multitude of factors behind the scenes, from having a loving mother that instilled the responsibility to help those in need, to be active in our community, and the knowledge that this work will only be done when the signs of hunger, poverty, suffering, and sadness are no longer present. To my incredible wife that is always there to offer her support, even on the weeks filled with the 14-hour days, which I think is most every week. I'm grateful for the support of the Clark County School District and its leadership for creating a climate where excellence is the expectation, and the Foundation for Excellence for supporting teachers and staff on the multitude of efforts we bring. Being recognized in a district filled with phenomenal, hardworking, dedicated professional educators is an honor. Doing so in the name of Jenny Penny Oliver is empowering. Thank you again.
Good evening. I'm Mona Robinson. In addition to the award winners this evening, we've heard from an elementary school student and from a middle school student. And before we present the last few awards, we thought you would enjoy hearing from a student that has spent 12 years in the Clark County School District. Anna SCHRAMSKI is a recipient of 2 foundation awards. She won the E. Carson Humanitarian Spirit Award and the Greg W. Lewis Memorial Scholar Athlete Award. She's a cross-country and a track star, an exceptional student, and a recent graduate of Cedar Shoals High School. She'd like to take a moment to talk about her experience.
Thank you. As she said, my name is Anna SCHRAMSKI. I didn't really realize how many people I was going to be speaking in front of now, but it's helpful to know that there are many friendly faces out in the audience. A lot of my former teachers are here. As Mona said, I am a 12-year student in the district. I attended with Davis Elementary and then HILSMAN Middle School, and then I graduated from Cedar Shoals in the past May. And now I'm attending the University of Georgia. And let's see, sorry. Well, attending the University of Georgia was a little bit of a reverse culture shock, and I'd like to back this up with a statement. I looked at some statistics, and in the incoming class of 2018, the one that I was part of, out of 5,300 people, 27% identified as non-Caucasian, whereas last year in Clark County School District, there were 80% that identified as non-Caucasian, and this shocked me because I was so used to diversity. I found comfort in the diversity that is the Clark County School District, because every day at school over the past few years, I was introduced to someone new or a new cultural idea that I was unaware of before. I was surrounded by people with many different backgrounds and many interesting stories, and I was a child immersed in a diverse group of people, and I believe that I'm a product of this system. Attending public schools in the Clark County School District has given me a greater view of the world and impacted my life goals and my future career decisions. The friendships that I made over the years and the opportunities that I was offered were endless. Sorry, my public speaking skills got a little nervous up here. But I'd like to say that as a high school senior, the past year, many people told you how fun college would be, and they described it as the best time of your life, which it is. I'm having an absolute blast. I love the University of Georgia, but they fail to mention how hard it is also. And these past few weeks have challenged me more than any in my entire life. And while at times I feel as if I'm sinking in the stress, more often than not I'm able to call upon the lessons that I was taught during my time in this district. I can remember the class in elementary school where I learned that I love to read, and the first AP class that I took in high school that taught me to really study. I remember the unconditional love shown to me by many of my teachers, and what it felt like to win a championship or bring a team to state or score all superiors at a band festival. I can remember the leadership skills shown to me by my many awesome teachers, and what it felt like when I was able to apply those and give back to my community. When I think back over the last few years, the teachers and the experiences that I gathered not only filled my head with all sorts of educational knowledge that gave me an excellent foundation for the classes that I'm now in, they also taught me important life lessons. My teachers stretched me and challenged me, and I am where I am today because of their belief in what I was capable of accomplishing. They helped me to understand that learning is a process, and they taught me to enjoy this concept of education and to work hard for what I want. Because of this, and because of the diverse community that Clark County is, I know that even though college is hard, I am more than prepared with the tools that I need for success. As I said before, I wouldn't trade my 12 years in the district for anything. Therefore, without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to co-present these next few awards to a few of Clark County's finest teachers.
The Catherine H. Hug Instructional Leadership Award is presented to Dwight MANZY, the principal of COILE.
Good evening. I had a phenomenal speech prepared. It started something like 47 years ago, and then I realized that it had already been performed. A big thank you to the foundation. Also to C.J. Amison. C.J., I've been in constant contact with her, trying to figure out what do I wear, what do I say, what do I do, and things of that magnitude, and I think everybody was contacting her. Also, a special thank you to Dr. Henry Ruskin, one of our teachers at COILE, who thought it not robbery to nominate me. And also to my favorite teacher. You know, we all have a favorite teacher. My favorite teacher just happens to be my wife, who teaches at ALPS. I'm making sure I'm not in the doghouse. And to my sons, who know what year-round school is all about. They have followed me from my days at Whitehead Road Elementary, my days at HILSMAN Middle School, my days at Cedar Shoals High School, and now my days at COILE Middle School. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of administrators. I had the pleasure of working with Ms. Patricia Clifton, who took a chance. And through those chances, she now has 4 principals that work with her. I had the pleasure of working with Ted McMillan on our first day of teaching together many, many years ago, where the most exciting thing for us to do was to all meet in the teacher workroom because we had this new mimeograph machine and it smells so good. And that was when we had film strips where you had to take a class and learn how to turn the film strip. And all of the students wanted to be the one who turned the film strip. To all of the faculty and staffs I've had the pleasure of working with, I've enjoyed you tremendously. But for those of you that have never ever worked in a middle school, haven't the slightest idea, because people tell me you never get fazed by much, and I let them know I work in a middle school. Middle schoolers are like roller coasters. They're up, down, and it's not even lunch yet. But I still believe the greatest teacher in the world is a kindergarten teacher. When I walk into a kindergarten classroom to see someone who can teach a child to stay in one spot long enough to learn to read. To see a student who's coming into the room who does not know how to read in August, and in May, they're sitting there reading you an entire book. To me, that's a phenomenal teacher. To Mr. Charles Worthy, who was one of my principals at Cedar Shoals High School, who taught me never ever to take anything for granted and to always make time for your family. To the assistant principals, Ms. Mary Garrison, Ms. Anissa Johnson, Mr. Brad Bowling, Ms. Dr. Marsha Thomas and Dr. Brad Bowling, that I've had an opportunity to work with, we all gain knowledge from each other. And to the many, many parents that I've had the opportunity to work with. Those of you that have had the opportunity to hear EDGAR is why I do the job I do. Because of the kids that I can relate so well to. I can understand them. And they too can understand me. Because I know their struggles. And when I first met EDGAR, I remember him looking up at me like this, and me looking at him, and the only thing that I could say was, "Un momento, por favor." That's one moment, please, let me go and get somebody. In a sense, is what I was trying to tell him. And I know that I could not learn Spanish in 1 year. So I take my hat off to him. But I also take my hat off to all the administrators and all of the teachers and all of the parents that made Clark County beautiful. And I thought that I was a good administrator. And then I met Dr. Theo LaDue. And he took me to that next level of getting to understand what instruction is truly, truly all about. And I thank him for that, for opening my eyes and opening the doors for the knowledge that we are attempting to gain together. So to the foundation, once again, thank you very, very much. To all of my colleagues, I am proud to know you and to have worked with you over the years. And no, I'm not retiring. This is not my retirement. It sounded like it should be. I call on many of you often. I call Roger Hooker in the midnight hour and he wonders, man, what do you want now? But it's a blessing to have you, to be able to contact you. And I thank you.
The Howard B. Stroud Award is presented to Audrey Hughes, teacher at Hillsman Middle.
Wow. To follow
Manzy. When you all said 2 minutes, you really meant it. I'm honored and I'm humbled truly to receive this award. I do something very simple. It's not hard, it's not complicated, it's something we all do every day. Well, you take out your trash, but I take it in, so maybe it's not so simple. But I think probably the primary reason for this award is our Trash Hunger campaign at HILSMAN, and it wouldn't be a success without the support of Dr. Blankenship. When I interviewed with her 3 years ago, I said, I can't come to your school if I can't trash hunger. And she said, okay. So since then, I've been hauling in different things, and the list has grown and grown. So for those of you looking at me like, what is she talking about? Okay. We have a great campaign at HILSMAN, and I started it about 10 years ago in Tennessee. I'm a Georgia native, and I moved back. Trash Hunger is very simply, I collect trash that we can sell. I sell it, and the first semester, all of our money goes to UNICEF, which October is Trick or Treat for UNICEF month, so it goes in with that contribution. Second semester, we donate all of our earnings to the food bank, and the kids also put in volunteer hours at the food bank so they can see that we're helping abroad and at home. So that is our Trash Hunger campaign. If you're interested in a list of what we collect, I'll be glad to get that for you. Because we'd like to expand. Right now we have 20 businesses around town that are collecting for us, and my first partner was Rama Patel, and I see some of her family in the audience, so it's a really special connection there. Second, I'd like to thank Chuck Jones. He's the gentleman who brings the trailer to all of our metal and electronics recycling drives, leaves with a load, puts it in his garage. What won't fit in his garage goes to mine. So in that case, I thank my family. I thank Chuck's family, because we are walking out in the rain and the cold and whatever else is necessary until we can get the things broken apart to pull out the metals to sell. So the goal of this work is to teach kids that everyone can help, everybody can make a difference. It doesn't matter how much or how little you have. We all make trash, we can find another use for it. So it's a great way to connect the environment with helping others. And again, it's helping those here, it's helping those abroad. And this year I was very privileged to receive an award from UNICEF. Got to travel to Africa. It was absolutely amazing. And after that trip, I thank God every day I was born an American. I thank God that I was born female in America, of all things, because I get to choose to do this, I get to choose to do anything I want to do. And it's not like that everywhere in the world. So now for the thank yous. Again, I thank Dr. B for accepting me and all of my trash. I thank Dr. E. He was there last year through some of this, and the first year through it. So the program has grown. We had 2 partners to start with, Athens West Cleaners and Chuck. And we've grown again, like I said, to over 20, so stuff is constantly coming in the building, and I think I'm probably driving the front office crazy. It's constant calls down the road. It's huge, you have delivery, it's huge, send some students. So we're trying to streamline that so it gets a little more efficient, but you know what, it's good. The kids help, they see where it goes, they see their dollars at work. I'd like to thank the teachers at HILSMAN, every single one, and especially Cindy Clark, who has jumped on board with this and helped me with whatever I need, whatever crazy idea I say I need, she supports. Nick Hussein's been wonderful, Miss Kranz, Holly. I would love to be able to come to all of your classes this year and talk, but after CRCT/milestones, I'll be glad to. Dorothy and just everyone from HILSMAN's just accepted me, they've accepted the trash, and they've jumped on board. I'm trying to read from the list. And this wouldn't be possible without the kids on the Science and Energy team and the Green team, and I see Ani Fisher, and I see Miss Goody in the audience, so it's absolutely wonderful to have you guys here. So thank you so much for this award, and don't forget October is Trick or Treat for UNICEF month. If you can't find an orange box, I have 500. So, see me.
The Seasoned Teacher Award is presented to a teacher that has 30 years of experience this year. It is Teresa Johns from Hillsman Middle School.
It's a great honor to stand before you tonight as the first recipient of the Seasoned Teacher Award. It's an interesting name for an award. And I have received many amusing questions about my title and exactly which spices I might be seasoned with. When I first shared the news with my family, my daughter immediately harkened back to her Blues Clues days and suggested that I be paprika because, as every Blues Clues fan knows, paprika is the happiest spice. Now, I myself was hoping that it came with an honorary entry into the Spice Girls. But so far, the bedrooms haven't called. So, as I pondered a proper response to all the queries asking what spice I'd like to be, I began to think of the many, many people who've made it possible for me to be here tonight. And I decided that my spice then must surely be curry. Now, curry seems to be one of those things that folks either love or hate. Some folks think it's hot. Hold on to that thought for a moment. But I'd like to tell you something about curry. I always thought that curry was a spice in of itself, but it isn't. It wasn't until just a few years ago when I met my sister-in-law's sister-in-law. I can immediately tell which in the audience were born in the South, because you're immediately going, let's see, that makes her these. What are... Okay, might I suggest, you're doing the calculation in your head, might I suggest a second cousin twice removed over the number of siblings of grandfather on your mother's side, of course, formula. Figure that one out. But Rena taught me that there's really no such spice as curry. That a curry is not just one spice. It's made by blending many different spices together. So I stand before you tonight, very proud to be a curry, for I have borrowed, that's teacher talk for stolen, the best practices from so many folks I have been blessed to work with throughout the years. A cup of this one's management style, a teaspoon of that one's organization, a smidge of this one's good humor, and sprinkled over it all as much wisdom as I can beg, borrow, or steal from so many of the wonderful folks who come before me. So I am very, very honored to be the one that gets to wear the crown this evening for all the many seasoned teachers who have made this profession the finest in the world. Oh, and those of you who think curry's hot, when you get to be seasoned at anything, and somebody wants to use a sentence with the word hot in it, and it's not followed by flash, guilty.
Thank you guys for this award. I especially want to first thank Janet Wilkins for thinking to nominate me for this. It's a great honor. Being nominated, let alone receiving the Frida M. Thomas Award, is such a tremendous honor. When I began teaching, I did not realize just how much passion I would have for this job. As a first-year teacher, I was lucky enough to work alongside people who took it upon themselves to help me realize my love for teaching. Although there were many troubles and setbacks beginning teachers face in the classroom, I have always felt supported by my colleagues. I truly believe that this is the reason I have continued to grow as an educator. Many colleagues, past and present, have helped me see this. I know Janet Wilkins reminds me that we are creating lifelong learners in math. David Brown helps me see the importance of keeping our kids accountable for their learning and their actions. Megan McNeely shows me that strict can be loving. Amy Raymer makes sure the kids are given freedom and have fun learning. Tyler Grace reminds me to relax, which is not easy for me. Steve Sacco shows me the importance of structure for student learning. I could go on and on thanking all these teachers that have helped me be the teacher I am. I'm not sure that I would be this teacher if it wasn't for starting my career at Clark Middle School. It's a great place to work. Recently, I have been informed that Mr. McMillan was unsure about offering me this position. And in addition, in my end of the year evaluation my first year, Dr. Hunter told me that she thought I wasn't going to make it the whole year, which is not so comforting to hear as you made it your whole first year. However, they both gave me a chance to succeed, and for that I'm very grateful. They have helped support me and helped me become the teacher I am today, and it serves as a constant reminder that I need to give every student a chance to succeed in my classroom, because I may not be where I am today if that chance had not been given to me. I'm also grateful for the continued support from my family, my mom and dad and my sister, and my mother-in-law and father-in-law who are here with me tonight. Most of all to my husband, Neil. He puts up with never-ending stories, both joyous and frustrating, endless grading, and countless late evenings. Thank you to you all, and thank you to the Foundation for creating this opportunity to honor such wonderful educators.
This year we have a second Frida M. Thomas Teacher of Promise Award, and it is presented to Patrick Yon at Clark Middle School.
Thank you. I would first like to thank the Foundation for Excellence for such a tremendous event honoring all the hard work and dedication of the educators in attendance this evening. Next, I would like to thank my family for being my constant supporters, my wife, Carrie, who inspired me to get into the field of education, and our son, Henry, my mother, Susan, who has offered me unwavering support for 29 years, my father and mother-in-law, Daryl and Allison Batson, who have always supported me as if I were one of their own children. Additionally, thank you to those who wrote on my behalf to make this evening possible. Mr. Tad McMillan and Dr. Victoria Hunter have ensured that my experiences as an early career educator have been as smooth as possible. I love coming to work for each of you every day. Mr. David Brown, you've been my mentor since day one, and our friendship and our work relationship means so much to me. Finally, thank you to my Clark Middle School colleagues. I'm of the firm belief that who you work with plays a pivotal role in your success and satisfaction as a teacher. I'm blessed to work with teachers who give everything they have to their students. In closing, I would ask that all current teachers and administrators think back to your first year teaching, the late nights at school, the feelings you weren't good enough, and of course the anxiety associated with your first round of parent-teacher conferences. I ask that you seek out the new teachers in your building at some point this week and offer them a word of encouragement. I was provided many such words, and that's why I'm standing here today. Thank you.
Symphonies, maybe I'll fight for world peace.
'cause I know it's my destiny to leave more than a trace of myself in this place. I wanna do something that matters, see something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear. Wanna do something better, the time I've been given. I wanna try to touch a few hearts in this life and leave nothing less than something that says I was here. And I know that I will do more than just pass through this life and leave nothing less than something that says I was here. I was here.
Closing remarks. I think we ought to just not close. What do you think? I think really, why close on such a great evening? Because I think this is the chapter. This chapter stays open for everyone here in this room. And as much as we bring closure to events, and it's a great celebration, we keep this open every day. Our teachers keep it open, and our leaders, and those that support, at the central office and our community. But a couple things certainly for sure, and I've been, I guess, I hate to say it, I've been around a long time. This is my 37th year, and I've been in a lot of different places. I've seen a lot of great teachers and great leaders that I've been involved in. I don't think anything matches certainly what we have here in Clark County for a whole lot of reasons. And one certainly is the mechanics. I mean, we have that. I mean, we read about the mechanics, but there's an ingredient in there that's really, you can't measure, but you can see it. You can see it clearly. And that's that heart, that ability to inspire someone, the ability to go out and do that extra little bit. See, it goes beyond the mechanics. And I'm into mechanics. I like it. But that really is a smaller portion of what really makes it happen. And that says, I think, I could not say it so eloquently as you heard this evening about individuals that every which role they take in our district, wanting to go out and bring out that hand to our kids. And I think it also says a lot about our kids. We talk about the adults, and people like to say other things about the youth of today. I have great faith, just as those in this room, about what our children bring to our community every day. And we just saw a glimpse of it, but I see a lot. Never all of us here see a lot every day. And I want to thank the foundation for really providing what I call in some ways an oasis. Kind of in the midst of all the stuff around public education, we look for oasis, those places where there are times to just be able to kind of sit down and relax and take it all in with some level of comfort. We're fortunate that we have oases every day in our classrooms with our teachers. I mean, for me, that's an oasis to go into. Or going to our school and be an oasis. Board meetings, maybe a little oasis. But the foundation here, this is really another oasis for our community to just step back and enjoy what we have, because we have a lot. And I've said right from the beginning, I'm so fortunate and humbled that I've been invited to be in Clark County. But we talked a lot about metrics, and I think I know the only metric that really matters when all is said and done is, does the Clark County Schools provide the best education for its children? Yes, it does. I really have it does. And I see that so clearly, and I see it even with greater intensity, greater tenacity every day. But I can assure you, when you go into our classrooms, you go into
schools, you'll find that there are adults that ensure that our kids will never get a better education than in any place in America. So with that, I want to thank certainly our honorees today. I want to thank those that are here. I want to thank the foundation. And I want to thank this community for having faith in what we do through even the most trying times. It's a wonderful evening, and let's keep this one open so it's not closing remarks. Thank you.
I've asked Dr. Lene to stay and help me with this one, so if you can just linger here for a moment. It is my distinct pleasure to present the final award of the evening, and that is the Foundation President's Award. This award is given by the entire Board of Trustees to recognize exemplary performance that is not covered in the parameters of our annual awards. I'd like to highlight a few of the accomplishments of this year's Foundation President's Award. Under his leadership, the Clark County School District has been honored as a Title I Distinguished District for being Georgia's #1 large school district for closing the achievement gap between economically disadvantaged and non-disadvantaged students. In 2014, the graduation rate climbed to 71.5%, which is an increase of over 8% since 2009. This individual has been instrumental. He doesn't know this yet. This individual has been instrumental in innovative partnerships, including the revitalization of the Athens Community Career Academy. The Innovative Charter Program is a partnership between the school district, UGA, Athens Technical College, and One Athens, and includes a provision for Athens Tech faculty to teach free college courses to students in our district. Our honoree worked closely with the UGA College of Education in forming one of the nation's only professional development districts. This partnership with the College of Education includes aspects that include professors in residence who dedicate 50% of their time to a school or a district location. Students take courses, UGA students take courses on site, as well as district faculty and UGA faculty engaging in continuous learning. Our honoree has received a variety of accolades in his distinguished career, one of which is one of the top 50 technological innovators in education by the Center for Digital Education. I am, of course, talking about our superintendent, Dr. Phil. A new classroom grant that will be awarded during our 2015 grant cycle. So teachers, you're hearing it here first, there will be an additional grant to apply for next year. Since Dr. Lanu did not know about this award, we'll give him a week or two to think about any direction he might like to give us, whether he would like to see it go for a particular content area or age group, elementary, middle, or high, or whether he would like for it to be a general classroom grant open to all teachers. We'll let him decide that, so we'll ask you later. In addition to the $1,000 classroom grant, we have a token of our appreciation.
Thank you for steering your feet to the Clark County School District. And at this time, I'll invite CJ Amison, our Executive Director, to the microphone.
Most of you know that Dr. Lanou is from Vermont, so I'm thinking he wants a grant like about maple syrup making or something like that. So you all can, he gave us he just got back from his high school reunion not too long ago, and he waxed poetic about maple syrup making. So that's a heads up for some of y'all too if you want $1,000 about making maple syrup. I am asked often, especially by people away from Athens in the Clark County School District when I travel and they find out about the foundation, exactly what is the foundation? And I say, it's kind of like the mafia, because we're this kind of unseen, we're a group, but the trustees aren't always visible, and we just kind of permeate and infiltrate everywhere we go, and hopefully for the good. I'm not, hopefully that's true. But kind of like the cloud, I still don't understand the cloud. But that's kind of what the foundation is like. And so there are people all in this room who you all, now we have name tags, those of us who are trustees now. But if you have ever been a trustee or an award winner or a grant winner or a judge, would you please stand right now, ever in the 30-year history? Okay, thank you so much. And there are two people that I personally have to thank, because they talk me down off of many ledges on a daily basis and make up for all of my shortcomings. One is Anissa Jimenez, and one is her assistant, Callan Moore. If it weren't for these two ladies, I'd be drunk as a skunk up here. So I want them to stand, and I want you all to give them a big round of applause. And I also want you to know that I had carefully prepared and written out last week my closing remarks for tonight, and I prepared them with Ingrid Gilbert in mind, because she asked me several years ago, are you ever going to get up in front of this group and say something about teachers without crying? And so I deliberately decided I was going to do that, and I was going to be a big girl. And then Friday night at the CEDAR SHOALS homecoming game, something happened that to me perfectly summarizes what we are trying to communicate about how great you all are in the Clark County School District. I was having a conversation with Greg Huberty on the sidelines during halftime, and this young man approached Greg, and Greg was the typical teacher. I know you've all been there. He's been teaching, I know he looks about 30, but he's actually been teaching for 25 years at Cedar Shoals High School. This young man approached, and Greg knew him. Greg knew that he had taught him, but Greg, I don't think you knew his name, did you? I know you didn't. I didn't say anything, but this young man came up, made a beeline to Greg, so excited. Hey, Mr. Huberty, hey, I'm getting ready to graduate from Albany State and helping PE, and Greg, who is the math teacher, said, well, how's the math? How's the math going? This kid was so excited. He said, Mr. Huberty, because of you, college algebra was a breeze. It was great. It was no problem at all because of you. So they talked a few more minutes, and Greg walked off. And this young man, who I have no idea who he is, turned to me and said, Mr. Huberty was my favorite teacher ever. And I say that because all of you who teach, you have many students just like that you may not even remember their names, but you changed their lives forever. And I'm a parent in my 20th year with 4 children in the Clark County School District. And I could never teach. I wouldn't kill a kid, but I would certainly kill a parent or a colleague. And so, all I can say is, if I spend my days making your job even a little easier, then I'm successful and significant. Thank you so much for what you do each and every day. You make eternal differences in the lives of children and in the lives of parents like me because of what you do. Pay it forward,
nominate somebody for next year, because every one of you all who won tonight, you know there are 20 to 50 to 100 more of your colleagues out there who deserve a night like this. Come back next year. Thank you so much.